Yeah, no,
Now they can hear us. Hey, everybody.
Oh, hey.
Hi.
We are together in the same room doing the show for once.
I love it.
We've only done this once before, live on stream.
Was it really only once?
Yeah, for the live show.
Oh,
We've only
yeah,
done
that's
it once.
right, yeah. This is a much different layout, too.
Yeah.
It is.
So we are here. We are live, and we're going to be talking some Ghostbusters and some other stuff. We got
Alan will be fine, by the way.
we got an update on the Spider Bet. Because I think this might be the last day that we have the Spider Bet going.
Do you really think it's going to be the last day?
It might be.
I don't think
it might
so.
be.
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't want to leave the people hanging for another month. I'm actually also going to take off the headset.
Was that a pun, by the
I
way?
believe
Leave
it.
them hanging?
Yes,
Good,
it
good.
was.
Well done.
So yeah, let's just that should record this.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be good. So yeah, let's get right into it. Hey everybody, welcome to You Have to Watch This Podcast. I'm Alan.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Devin.
It's weird looking at the camera when you guys are right there.
Yes, in your peripheral. We'll be making faces, don't worry.
Yeah. Today we have gathered together to talk about Ghostbusters 2 because I had the calendar marked wrong and we were supposed to be talking about Afterlife today, but that's this weekend, not last weekend. So this is a film Devin had never seen, but before we get into that, you guys watch anything over the weekend?
I did.
What'd you watch?
Oh, boy. I watched M. Night Shyamalan's Old.
Ooh.
Oh.
That is...
I forgot that M. Night Shyamalan... I won't spoil anything for you guys, but you know the premise of it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Group of people go to a beach. Beach makes them age quickly, right? I won't spoil what the twist is. I won't spoil what the plot is. I will say that I forgot that M. Night Shyamalan is bad at writing characters. I completely forgot about that until this movie. Oh my gosh. So, on the beach, there is a rapper. Do you guys know about this? About the rapper on the beach?
No.
On the beach, there's a rapper.
Wait, like a candy rapper?
Oh,
or
no, like a recording artist rapper.
Okay.
He wrote a song called More Dough for the Bacon, which I hate. But guess what? Okay, you are M. Night Shyamalan. You are writing your next blockbuster film. This is the movie that's going to put your career back on track. A rapping recording artist. You okay? Okay, good. Rapping recording artist is going to be on your beach. What do you name him? Just spitball. It doesn't have to be good. What do you name him?
Sandy.
Right, or like Lil something, right? Like Lil Paint Can or something. Do you know what this rapper's name was?
What?
Mid-size Sedan. He wasn't a parody recording artist. He was that. And I forgot that like M. Night Shyamalan writes characters where like they're quirky and that's how you know they're likable. So there's a little kid in it and he just goes, "Hi, I'm David. What's your name and occupation?" And like it's cute once, but he does it to every character he meets. And I'm like, right. In another movie, he has a character just talk about how great hot dogs are all day. And this is the same writer. Overall, I didn't like the movie. At some
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I couldn't tell.
I mean, like at some point, it just devolves into screaming. I mean, like the concept of the island of them growing older is interesting because you watch kids grow up and have to deal with like adult emotions and adult feelings that they don't understand because they're still like 6, but like now all of a sudden like they have adult thoughts and what does that mean and what do I do with that? And that's interesting. It's interesting to see somebody that's essentially in like a 20-some-year-old body, but who was 6 this morning and like doesn't have all of the experience. I think that part's cool. But man, I just did not like this movie. Like,
See, I think I've given up on M. Night Shyamalan
Have you?
after Glass.
oh really? That was
Yeah,
it?
I had such high hopes for that film and was so disappointed.
Yeah.
And Ryan and I disagree on this.
Yeah, we do.
Glass.
Oh, I love Glass.
I gotta watch it. I really do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Does he write quirky characters like that though? Is there like a...
Yeah, well, there's at least one quirky character in Glass where it's like a friend of like the psychiatrist in it, and she doesn't believe in anything that the psychiatrist actually does. Like, she thinks it's just a bunch of like mumbo jumbo to make people feel better about themselves. And the neighbor, like, they're watching TV and she just tells the character that.
Great. Does he have self-insert character in Glass too?
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has that
Can
in all
he
his
not
stuff.
do that?
But see, the thing that doesn't bother me.
Oh, it
That
bothers
does
me. It's
not
like-
bother me at all. Do you want to know why? Because great. Now I forget his name.
M. Night Shyamalan?
No, not M. Night Shyamalan.
Stanley.
Not Stan Lee. Birds. Psycho.
Oh,
Hitchcock.
Alfred
Hitchcock did that. It doesn't bother me that
But
people
Hitchcock
do that.
didn't do that in as obvious a way, did he?
Yeah, no.
Well, Hitchcock was most like in Rear Window. He's like adjusting a clock.
Sure.
So like he's in the shot, but he's
Yeah.
not like the character.
But he's not like
who-
the wife's murderer.
Yeah, he's not like in Signs. Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah, but he's decent at the small roles that he does.
I mean, he's decent. I don't think he's a bad actor. I just think it's a bit narcissistic. Like,
Let him have his gimmick.
yeah, but I don't like his gimmick. That's it.
That's fine. If you don't like the gimmick, that's fine. But let him have his gimmick.
That's fair. Would you guys ever watch Old?
Kristen really wants to watch Old.
Okay, I'm sorry I split.
So
I'm sorry
I don't. No.
tainted your opinion.
No. You didn't really taint my opinion because
Okay.
even though you find the whole idea of having a bunch of kids come out of a nook in a rock wall going, "What's wrong with me?" interesting.
Yeah.
I don't roll my eyes.
Got it.
So especially the whole thing with you telling me that it was cute the first time. What's your name and occupation? No, that's not cute the first time. It's not cute the first.
He wasn't cute any of the times. And I don't know, like couples, I don't know, he does the thing where he tries to do intrigue by just having people say half sentences. They're like, "I know that you," and then someone will interrupt them, and I think he's just like, "Oh, what did he do?" But I was never like that. I was like, "You just finish the sentence." Like now I'm frustrated. I don't know. I don't think he's a good writer particularly. It was shot well. I think that the horror elements of it definitely were scarier than it had any right to be for the premise. But no, don't like it.
All right. Real quick.
Yeah, what's up?
Can you adjust your microphone so they're a little bit further apart?
Oh yeah, are we
Because we're getting an echo.
I was also
and-
a bit loud. Is this better?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
Ryan, talk.
Okay. Yeah. So I didn't really see anything new this week. No, there was
I
a
hope
lot
not,
going
because
on.
I don't have anything prepped for that.
Yeah, no, I've got. You have nothing prepped, and I have nothing to really talk about that I saw new. So this works.
Yeah. I watched something. It's not new, but I think it's worth talking about a little bit because if you're not aware, Devin and I have a spider bet going on, and to prepare for Spider-Man No Way Home coming out in December, I've been going through and watching all of the Spider-Man films for our friends over at Victims and Villains. I do their Patreon podcast. And Devin and I just got done finishing recording an episode on The Amazing Spider-Man. And if the thing will change, why won't the thing change?
Is it below me?
It's like below Ryan. Why won't it change?
Would you stop it? Stop looking at me. Stop.
There we go. I watched The Amazing Spider-Man 2 for the first time since I saw it in theaters. And I gotta say, those films hold up a lot more than hold up a lot better than I remember. Devin and I just had a hours long conversation about these two films, and I think they're definitely worth revisiting. Even if Devin's right and Andrew Garfield's not in Spider-Man No Way Home, we're getting Electro and the Lizard back. So they're definitely worth revisiting for those. But I think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is worth revisiting. I think his portrayal gets overlooked a lot. I definitely think if you haven't seen these films in a while, you should definitely go back and check them out.
I think they suffered because of the context under which they were released. I mean, they rebooted Spider-Man, 2 years after the last Spider-Man happened? It was almost immediately.
So, yeah, Spider-Man 4 was supposed to come out in 2011. Mm-hmm. In 2009, or early 2010, they scrapped that and started working on the reboot.
Yeah, I mean, so it was almost right away, and I was just like, oh, another one.
And there was rumors that Amazing Spider-Man was supposed to be in the MCU, they were going to put Avengers Tower in the first one,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I forgot to bring that up on the podcast, but that's just for you guys. But yeah, I definitely think they're worth checking out.
Yeah.
In Spider-Bet news, the second trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home comes out tonight. 8:30 Eastern is when we should be getting it online. So we're not going to be able to go live.
We might be able to.
We might be able to go live.
We'll see.
We might be able to go live. If not, if you want to see Devin and I's reaction, because Devin and I will be together tonight. Not that way, but we're working on a project tonight, so we'll be together when we watch it for the first time. So we will be doing our reaction. So make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook so you can see that. I should have that posted tomorrow, if not
If it's
tonight.
not live, yeah.
If it's not live, we might be able to go live on Instagram.
I think we can.
Yeah, let's just go live on Instagram, and you'll be able to watch us watch it.
Yeah.
So follow us on Instagram for that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm a bit nervous, I'm going to be honest.
You should be.
I might have a project coming up.
Yeah, you might.
I think
we both might.
Well, here's the thing: is either we're going to know tonight that I'm wrong, or we'll have to wait a month to see if I'm right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm really curious.
I am too. How's the echo? Is the echo better? Let us know in the chat.
Can you hear us? Like,
it sounds better on my end,
Good.
but I wasn't hearing it to begin with. So, so Ryan, what do you think? Who do you think has won the Spider-Bet? Since you're the third party who's not involved in this, whose side are you leaning towards right now?
Personally, I really want Alan to be right.
Yeah.
I do.
Because of the outcome, or because you think he's right?
Both, actually. Because here's the thing: you are Peter Parker from Spider-Man 3. You just are. Okay, so there's that. Yes, just you are.
You're gonna grab him by the collar and throw him up against the Drop Dead Fred poster that's right here, and be like, "I'm gonna put dirt in your eye, in trash."
So that you walking down the street strutting just fits your personality to begin with. It just makes sense. So there's that.
Proud or offended?
You should be proud. You should be very, very proud. And then there's two. To be honest, I'd rather see the three Spider-Men come together than have them try to force the Sixers into the Marvelverse. Because there's already so much going on. I don't want to see that many villains.
You know what's funny? I forgot we have Streamlabs doing a poll. The poll just popped up.
Look at the poll pop up. Good.
Yeah.
Vote.
So go ahead and vote in the poll if you think Toby and Andrew Garfield are going to show up in Spider-Man Far From Home. Vote for me. If you think they are not going to show up in a significant role, vote for Devin.
Cameos are fine, like end credit scene, fine, but like not significant role.
Like not going to be helping fight the bad guys.
Exactly.
But yeah, so maybe we'll have an answer tonight. Maybe I have an answer already and haven't told you.
Do you have an answer already?
I don't know.
Oh my god. Shit. Okay.
He's really good at making you sweat.
He is. Yeah. What's easy to do?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You really weren't paying attention to me and Ryan during dinner.
I saw what you showed him. I mean, I saw that. I knew that's leaked for a while because you leaked it along with the picture that you showed me. So, there are pictures that leaked. I don't think they're real.
Okay.
I mean, I think one of them is real and one of them is fake. It's like one of those, two truths and a lie thing.
Maybe. I mean, they could be throwing us off the scent, but I think there's been so much that I think the event tonight's going to be interesting because I think the event that they're doing in LA is going to reveal the full villain cast.
Okay.
Because I think they haven't. I think for marketing purposes they have to lean into that. If the Lizard is going to be in this, they have to confirm that. If the whichever version of the Green Goblin, here's hoping that it's Willem Dafoe.
I think we heard his laugh, right?
Yeah. They have to bring him out. They have to confirm the villains at least. I also think there's a moment where you can bring out all three Spider-Men onto that stage. Maybe not show them, but be like, yeah, they're part of it. Like maybe we probably won't see anything, but they're gonna have to confirm. If they did not confirm it at this point, and people went in if people go into this movie and don't get it, there's going to be riots.
You really think so? You really think?
I think there's definitely a section of the fan base that will riot.
I mean, part of my bet isn't that they never make it in. I just think that this is part of Sony's bigger deal. I think that this is setting up the big Spider-Verse live-action Sony movie that Sony's going to get the majority of the profits from, because this is what they worked out with Disney to get the Spider-Man rights back. Because I think Disney was like, all right, fine, we'll tee you up, and then you guys can hit it out of the park with your movie. You get Tom Holland for a movie, and that's how we do our thing. We continue Spider-Man because we had big plans for him. So I mean, I think they'll be in it a bit, and I think it's going to give us that build up.
Okay.
Yeah. Who knows? I hope I'm right.
In the chat, friend of the show, Bill. Boy, I hope they do none of that. Why is Marvel always spoiling their movies before they even come out?
That's fair. I
mean, to be fair, like that first trailer doesn't really give away anything plot-wise for this movie. It shows Doctor Strange casts a spell and Doc Ock shows up. Like, that's pretty much it. The only thing that they released marketing-wise, and they've been getting a lot of jokes about this online, is just the bridge scene from that trailer.
Yeah.
Like, everything is from that bridge.
That's good, though.
So, it's just like Spider-Man versus the Six Bridges. Jeff shows up. Bo shows up.
Good. That took me a second.
The ones from Madison County show up.
It hurts.
So tune into our Instagram live tonight where Devin and I watch the trailer.
It's gonna be fun.
It's a Spider-Man movie. People are gonna go see it anyway. Doctor Strange being there would be awesome. In the beginning, if I didn't know it, I completely agree. Like, I don't. Like, there is a world where they're not going to show us everything.
Well, the thing is, you were right about Thor Ragnarok. I think when we talked about that, we did our live reaction to Thor Ragnarok. How cool would Thor Ragnarok have been if you didn't see already the Hulk was going to be in it?
Yeah.
And that, they pitched it as a Thor movie, people went, and then buzz started around it going, holy cow, look who showed up. We didn't know this was what the movie was going to be. And then that's what drove more people to see it.
And I think if you look at Spider-Man Far From Home, they did a good job of not showing that Mysterio was actually the villain.
Yeah.
Spoilers. But everyone kind of knew. Like, you know who Mysterio is. He's like a, I don't want to say trickster, but he's a con.
Right.
Like, so I think that we're going to see whatever we see in this trailer, but there's going to be more that we don't see.
So it's Mysterio texting me every day about my car insurance.
Your warranty for your
Yeah, my warranty for my car.
Shouldn't have called him a jerk back in Ryan's Life Part 1.
Whatever.
Devin, just so you know, you're getting your $2 back.
Oh, friend of the show, Bill, you don't have to. Goods and/or services was great.
Yeah, you know what's funny is Devin spent a good 20 minutes in my car ride to my apartment trying to get Venmo to work on his phone.
Because I'm finally back in America, so I can now download Venmo. I couldn't in the UK, so now I could do this to get you your money.
They don't
back.
have Venmo in the UK?
They don't have Venmo in the UK, no.
Do they have anything like it?
Bank transfers are instant, even between banks. You don't need a third party app to do it.
I'm gonna hold my tongue.
All right. So, tune in to our Instagram tonight for that.
I feel like
I wish I'd known that. I would have Venmoed you 1 cent every day.
Really, it weighed on my soul that I had your $2. So I'm glad I got it back.
Okay, so let's get into today's main topic, Ghostbusters 2.
Yes.
So this is the 1989 sequel to Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
This was Ryan's pick because we found out Devin had never seen this. So I'm gonna throw it over to Ryan and let him take point for a bit.
Okay, so as Alan said, it came out in 1989. It was directed by Ivan Reitman. Reitman, and Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis. The crew wrote it, so that's pretty much it for the writers and director. But anyway, this to me is my favorite Ghostbusters movie. This is the one that I watched the most. This was the first one this was the first one that I ever watched as a kid. And this is just like the one-liners, the comedy in it, the scenes. When people talk about Ghostbusters, especially the original crew, this is the movie I think of. This is where I pull my mental images for, pretty much. Now, Alan, I know you've seen it, but it's been a while.
I've seen it more recently. I haven't seen it since the 2016 Ghostbusters came out. But I've owned it since then because I bought like the DVD 2-pack.
Yeah.
But I've seen this film, so I was familiar with it. I know about what's his name, the painting.
Yeah.
What is his name? Ivan? Not Ivan.
What is his name?
Igor? Oh my gosh! I watched it today.
Oh man.
I know
This
what
is
you mean.
embarrassing.
The painting.
The painting.
The painting.
I remember that. I remember the
Vigo.
Vigo. That's it.
No.
Vigo. The whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Vigo.
We'll talk about that. We need to.
So yeah, I had wanted to go back and rewatch all of the Ghostbusters films leading into Ghostbusters Afterlife, and then I got the surprise screening of Ghostbusters Afterlife like a month and a half in advance, so I didn't get a chance to do that. But like, I know I'm going to go see it again this weekend. So going back, I didn't get to watch the first Ghostbusters, but I watched the CinemaSins video on it, and I feel like that's the same. I've seen the first Ghostbusters enough.
Yeah.
But no, I was able to go back and watch this with my wife, who had never seen it.
Okay.
And just so you know, you and her are fighting.
Okay.
She was not a fan.
That's and the thing is, I'm going to explain why a lot of people don't like it, because I understand that. And when it comes to like the real hardcore Ghostbusters fandom, I am in the minority.
Yeah.
I truly am, and that's fine.
So Devin,
Yeah.
what did you think of Ghostbusters 2?
I really liked it. I mean, it was more Ghostbusters. I mean, I don't know that I like it more than number one.
That's fine.
It was great to see everybody back. It was funny to watch Ghostbusters jokes I'd never seen before.
Turn your mic.
Turn my mic.
Or talking.
Oh, talking. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, it doesn't just pick me up from anywhere. But no, it was nice to see everybody like back again. Like I liked that. I liked more Ghostbusters jokes. I don't think more Ghostbusters in my, at least so far, more Ghostbusters isn't a bad thing for me.
Yeah.
I like that. I just, I think I like the jokes and the one-liners in number one the best, like better. I think I like the resolution to the plot of number one better because it felt more kind of epic and grand than this one did.
Yeah.
And it felt a little less kind of hokey.
Yeah.
Like I had such a weird introduction to this because I saw you mad at me for not having seen it. I knew that my bad hot take was, okay, they made Ghostbusters 2 and they didn't make any more, so this one must have been bad.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I saw you say like, oh, you haven't watched it, you're wrong. So I'm like, okay, cool, it's a great movie. And then I talked to someone who won't be named and isn't actually in this apartment, and I went, oh, I'm gonna watch Ghostbusters 2. They went, that was a bad movie. Why are you watching it? And I went, oh, I didn't know people hated this movie.
Yeah, people hate this movie.
Okay, no, I liked it. I firmly liked it. I will watch it again.
Okay. Now, to get that whole topic out of the way,
We'll have
because
to,
it
yeah.
got brought up twice. So, the original Ghostbusters movie is just a good overall movie.
Right.
It's not just a gimmick. You've got an actual problem, you've got an actual solution, you've got resolution at the end. Like, it's a good, just solid film. Ghostbusters 2 is what I call a fan service movie. It is just everything that is goofy and fun and relaxing about whatever the first one was, whether it be a show, a movie, a comic book, and they take that and make a movie out of it. And that's what Ghostbusters 2 is. It's basically just a live-action, silly cartoon for Ghostbusters fans.
Some of that I can see. I don't know that it begins that way.
No, it definitely begins a bit more serious because you got the whole thing about, them not being Ghostbusters anymore and how they, and they do a really good job of cementing you in what's happened since the end of the first one.
Yeah.
Because they definitely show you where everybody is, they explain what happened, and all of that.
And right away, 5 years later.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, the thing with me is that, and I love this movie, so this is always kind of funny. When I was younger, and this was on network television, I always seemed to pick up the movie at the courtroom scene.
Oh, wow.
So for
You
the
know?
longest time, I always thought that the movie started in the courtroom scene. And I didn't realize there was a good 25, 30 minutes
These are some
before.
of my favorite parts of the movie.
Same here. Like I
Yeah.
feel like that's where I always pick it up too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember the beginning. I definitely don't remember the 5 years later, just at the very first frame of the movie.
Yeah. Now, it's one of those things where it's like I had this realization when I was in high school because that's when like I actually got my own copy of Ghostbusters 2, and then that's when I was like, oh yeah, no, that courtroom scene is actually when all of the like silliness kind of starts.
Yeah.
And there's actually some real, moments in this film prior to that. But ever since then, I still always have that realization, like, oh, I always used to think the movie started here. But that's where, to get back to the main thing, there's a lot of people that really like the fact that, like, Ghostbusters 1 is a funny movie.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters 2 is just a comedy. And that's where I feel like a lot of the disconnect of it is. Now, you can talk about, character development and resolution all you want about this movie, but the fact is I don't take this movie seriously enough to care about that. Because to me, this is just a fun movie to watch.
Okay, I think that I wanted to know about people's backlash to it. Is that it goes too over the top for what this is? Because,
Yeah.
I mean, it seems silly saying that because number one had a giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in it. And like, right there. Had a giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in it. And like, that's like basically the right, and then everyone's covered in marshmallow goo at the end. And that's silly. Like, for some reason, piloting the Statue of Liberty through the streets of New York City seemed too much.
Yeah, see, to me it's not. See,
Right,
to me it's right up the alley.
But it should be. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I think my problem is. Is like, was it too much for you, Alan? Like, were you on board with that, or?
Comparing it to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, yes.
Oh yeah.
If you don't look at it comparing it to the first film, then yeah, it is a bit weird. But I do like how they all come to the same realization at once.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we need something that will bring everyone together, and then they like zoom in on the license plate. But no, I really like the you have to have something big at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But was it too big, or was it too silly, or like was it too much of a stretch to think New Yorkers could come together?
Well, the thing is, for me, one of my top 10 lines has to do with the Statue of Liberty in this.
Tell me. I need to know.
It's when they're talking about the Statue of Liberty shaking itself apart, and then Harold Ramis goes, "I don't think they make Nikes in her size."
Yeah.
I think they make
That is a good line. In the chat, they just catch up a little bit. Little Miss Moon asked if we were going to review the 2016 Ghostbusters.
Can we?
Ryan and I did back when it came out. Have you
Yeah,
seen
Never.
it?
You've
Really?
never seen that one either?
Never.
Oh my god, I cannot believe I'm sitting next to somebody who calls himself a millennial. Seriously?
If I had known that, we would have done a double feature.
Yeah.
I mean, we can watch it.
We can't watch it right now.
I mean,
You I am a Trekkie. I could Vulcan neck pinch you right now. Can Vulcan-
I feel
we're
like
separate.
I feel like you should watch it.
Yeah.
W-
At least for
maybe-
homework.
Okay.
Yeah, for homework, and then maybe
That could be we watch this next week. Or
yeah,
something like
Yeah.
that.
when we talk about Afterlife.
Yeah.
Are we doing Afterlife
I think
next
we're doing
week?
Afterlife next week.
Okay.
We'll just have to.
Maybe.
I would love to like all three of us go to see
That
it this
would be
weekend.
really cool.
But I don't know when are you leaving?
I'm leaving Sunday.
Oh, then we can do that.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Oh, maybe. I forgot I'm going out of town Saturday.
I got to see what's going on Sunday.
I mean,
But yeah.
we'll plan.
Yeah, we'll talk after
Yeah.
the show. No one needs to know what our plans
No,
are.
but
I thought about it though. I was like, oh man, it'd be so cool if we could like rent a theater and just get a bunch of people
I
together
would
to go
love
see it.
love that.
But like the theater that rents out stopped doing it because movies are coming out
Right.
again. And then Bill said it felt like the studio went and do the exact same thing, just slightly different.
But that's what they did with like Jurassic Park 2, and people liked that one.
Lost World?
Yeah.
I love Lost World.
That's my point.
Well, but the thing is, again, Lost World is a fan movie. Like,
Okay, so
that's
then
fan
Ryan,
service.
for you, does fan service ever go too far? Like, have you ever found a movie that was just straight fan service that you were like, ew, I feel like they're just catering to me now and didn't want to tell an actual plot? An actual
Spider-Man
story?
3.
Was it?
Venom.
Venom. Yeah.
That's the whole reason they put Venom in. The studio made them put Venom in that movie because that's what the fans wanted.
Oh. But they didn't do it well.
See, there's that. Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't do it well. Now, the thing with fan service films, you don't like them if you're not that into that topic. But if you're into that topic, and you can kind of put aside, your critiquing of films, then yeah, you'll like it. Well, Alan, why are you laughing?
Oh no.
When the show Bill asked, is Devin asking if fan service is so preoccupied with whether they never stop to think if they should.
Yeah, I mean, so there's that. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. So like to me, there is not any fan service movie that I like. I like because I like that because I'm in that fandom. Any fan service movie that I don't like, it's because I'm not really in that fandom.
Sure.
So that's because to me, there's really like, as long as you stay within the path of what that topic is about, it's fine. And as long as you stay within the reality of what they build prior to that, you can go balls to the wall. Where I will say it failed once for me is Ninja Turtles 3, which is a film that I always joke that was never made and was just a bunch of college kids going, because in the cartoon, yes, they time travel, there's aliens, there's all this other stuff in the cartoon. In the live action movies, for 2 movies, they don't reference aliens, time travel, like different dimensions at all. And then
Vanilla Ice is in the second one.
What?
you're talking about a movie that was made during the height of his career.
Hold on. You didn't know Vanilla Ice is in Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze?
Please tell me you've seen that one at least.
I haven't seen any live action Ninja Turtles film. No, I always thought.
Sorry, Alan.
This is why you're over there and I'm over here.
I got it. Look, my spicy hot take on the live action Ninja Turtles movies is that the the puppets always scared me.
Okay.
The people in costumes. I used to actually have, as a kid, I used to genuinely have a fear of people in costumes.
Okay.
So like the turtles in costume actually scared me, so I was fine with them being like cartoons and nothing else.
Okay.
I'd watch them now. I 100%.
Okay. So in those first 2 movies, they flat out just don't do anything outside of the fact that the turtles are mutants and Splinter's a mutant.
Yeah.
They do not expand the science any further than this green goop turned these turtles and rat into humanoid beings. And that's it. They don't go beyond that.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, boom, they time travel back to Japan from New York City. And that's when they completely lost me, because they didn't stay within that narrative that they developed through 2 movies.
But like music-loving Flubber wasn't too much for you for Ghostbusters 2?
Music-loving Flubber?
Yeah,
The slime.
Because they didn't establish slime in the first one.
No,
I
but
mean,
they
kinda
they did because
Slimer.
They
but that's different though.
hang on, Slimer. Hang on a second. Are we still talking about Ghostbusters, or are we talking about
Ghostbusters.
Turtles?
No, it's Ghostbusters. I pivoted because your point of like they didn't do anything new in Ghostbusters 2, and therefore you liked it. Like they did the slime, and that was a whole new concept.
As in with Slimer? You're talking about?
Well, Alan said that they kind of did slime in number 1 because Slimer was in
Slimer,
number 1.
Yeah, because you got slimed by Slimer.
But is it different slime?
Yeah.
Like it's different. Like
it's different goop.
yeah. So I mean, like, but was that too far? Like, did that?
No, I don't
break
think
the
that.
Ghostbusters formula.
No, because see, the first one you're dealing with a demonic presence, which again they're dealing with in the second one.
Yeah.
In the first one, you've got that like ecto goo stuff that's like all around the place. Ectoplasm, which in other ghost and scary movies, like along that like Poltergeist, there is goop. There's that ectoplasm goop that's all over the place whenever the spirits break from their dimension into ours. So when you go into Ghostbusters 2 and you have that river of slime that's going through the old subway tunnels, to me, I like their explanation that what that slime is the physical embodiment of all of the negativity that was in the city.
Okay.
And and through Egon and not Venkman, Egon and I forget his name, Dan Aykroyd.
You knew the actor's name.
Yeah, what is-
That's
Yeah.
different for you.
What is Dan Aykroyd? I always just call him Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, it's the same here.
I'm fine with
It's
Egon and Venkman are like the two I know by name.
That's a good question. Why?
This is embarrassing.
Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Stance. Ray Stance.
Ray Stance.
That's it.
They positively charge the goo that they have by playing, Jackie Robinson and a bunch of other stuff. And Harold Ramis has a romantic affair with it, but we're going to go beyond that. We're going to go past that. So it goes from doing negative things to people to positive things, which is where they get the Statue of Liberty to walk. Okay. So the thing is, you're talking about a premise of three guys who originally were just scammers, pretty much, who were chasing ghosts, basically ghost eliminators. So with the premise that ridiculous, everything's almost on the table, except for, space aliens.
I feel like Ghost Eliminators is the asylum version of Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah.
But still.
Who are you gonna page?
Ghost
Eliminators.
So speaking of that, one of my favorite parts of this movie was the media that they produce. Like the commercials that they produce are like, now for the Ghostbusters mug and balloons for the kids. Oh my gosh, give me more of those. Like, I'll watch a movie of those.
Yeah, that's great. Real quick in the chat. We talked about things that gave into fan service. Miss Little Moon says the musical Love Never Dies.
I'm so happy you brought that up. Gross.
I don't know that one.
So to pivot real quick to this. So Love Never Dies is the sequel to Phantom of the Opera. Do you guys know Phantom of the Opera?
I know Phantom of the Paradise.
Okay. Close, actually.
Oh,
I know
cool.
Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
I'm going to make you guys watch Phantom of the Opera at some point if we ever do another musical one. But basically, they made a sequel to Phantom of the Opera, and it was nothing but like fan service, to the point where like I hate it and I'm really mad about it.
So is it a sequel to the music, like the Broadway show, or like the film?
It's so ambiguous. It could be a sequel to any. It could be a sequel to Phantom of the Paradise, to be fair, as long as it was set in the right time period.
Like the 70s.
Yeah.
Could it
Awesome.
Could it be a sequel to Phantom of the Megaplex from Disney Channel?
No, but I loved that one. No, it's just so vague as to which one it's actually a sequel to, and it's just not good. But that's a good example of fan service done completely wrong, I think, where because people write fanfic about Phantom of the Opera all the time. And what they did is they trolled fanfic sites, and they went, okay, this plot point, this plot point, this plot point, there's our musical. And I think that's, when you have fans writing something, I don't like that. But it's also, I don't know. Fan service is so tough in a movie because on one hand, you don't want something like what happened to the sequel trilogy where they're like, okay, we're going against what the fans want to completely surprise you and try to tell you a new story and then have the fan backlash. And then you don't want to lean too hard into everything the fans want because then it feels like you don't have creative control over your thing.
Yeah.
So I'm really of two minds of it, and it's just one of those when it's done well, and I'll know when it's done well.
Yeah. I think you can dabble in fan service, but I think having that be the main creative force behind a project is dangerous.
Yeah.
Did you think this was too much fan service then?
That's a good question. I'm trying to figure out what I want to say because I don't want to dive into too much of Afterlife.
Well,
Because I'm of two minds.
Okay.
Like, there were two Ghostbusters sequels, and the one we're talking about tonight is not the good one. Like, I think this one does fan service the wrong way.
okay.
I think Afterlife does it the perfect way.
For me, and I haven't seen it, so for me, Afterlife feels like it does it the Jurassic World way. Where it just goes, member goggles, member Jurassic Park.
It's more the Jurassic World way.
Okay.
Where it's paying tribute to the thing that you love, but telling this new story.
Okay.
Using elements that you know from the first one. So you have the car, you have the trap, but it's telling this whole new story. Mm-hmm. And tone-wise, I don't think the film suffers from it. I think tone-wise, Afterlife is much closer to the original film than it is to this one.
Okay, good. Because I did want to have this conversation. Does Afterlife make sense having seen this one? Like,
it's a gray area. Like the whole thing, and I think it's established in the trailer, so I don't mind saying this. The whole thing's about Egon's family,
right?
Yeah.
His descendants. So it's kind of a gray area, like when Carrie Coon's character was born.
Sure.
Carrie Coon was born in '81, so if Egon has a family that we don't know about in this one, it can kind of make sense.
Sure.
But everything that sets off the events of Afterlife happens after this one. So I don't think they address anything specifically from this one. So you can take it or leave it as a sequel, but I think for me it still fits.
Okay, but you think this is doing fan service the wrong way?
Yes.
You know,
I think the moment this film jumps the shark for me is when you have the two characters singing and dancing Ghostbusters.
Oh no, I loved that. I loved it.
Because it doesn't make much sense for me. So in the world of the film, the Ghostbusters save the day, and the city sues them. No one believes that they're real, and they're pretty much put out of business. But Ray Parker Jr. wrote a song about them. Like, that just doesn't make much sense to me at all.
Oh, I could see it.
Like almost like Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Well,
where it's like just silly.
Well, here's the thing though too. The whole thing about the city, the state, the county suing them for everything, and like you've got some people who you've got a lot of people who don't believe them. It makes sense because you're talking about the paranormal and you're talking about everybody who wasn't specifically there to see it is not going to believe them, and that's pretty much all of the city of New York.
Yeah.
Like 98% of the population of the city, because anybody who actually did see the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, they're going to believe him.
Right.
So I feel like if you have like almost kind of like a cult vigilante like thing where like nobody was really seriously hurt, I could see that guy with the smiling white pearly teeth over there making a song about them.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, Ray Parker Jr.
Yeah. And again, this gets into the whole like fan service thing. Sure. And I didn't come to this conclusion of this being a fan service thing when I was a kid. It happened when I was older.
Right.
Because when I first saw this one, again, this was the first one that I ever watched. So I thought Ghostbusters were silly. I thought it was, this is like a comedy thing. These guys catch ghosts and this is what they do. And then I saw the first one when I was a little bit older. Didn't find it as funny, but I still liked it. And then as I got older, I realized, hang on, this one came first. Then they made this one. So this is the second one. And then that's when I came up with the whole like, this is what fan service is.
Yeah, and I think the only problem I had with this movie is it doesn't necessarily have an interesting, like motivation for the characters, or like it doesn't move them forward in an interesting way, except for me in the very first bit of it. Like I like the idea of Peter Venkman having a show where he pits two psychics against each other. Like I think that's really funny. It fits the character that I know from the first one very well.
Yeah,
and that's what I want. Like I think that's interesting, and it makes a good like stinger for the end of a movie or something like that. Like if that were to bookend the end of the first one, that's cool. Give me that. But then afterwards, like, I don't know that I see, like, why they made this movie aside from fan service. And, I mean, usually I think I would be really bitter and jaded about that, but I just like Ghostbusters. So I like it.
Well, and to be fair, in the defense of the Ghostbusters themselves, like, there's a reason there was never a Ghostbusters 3. None of that, like, yes, Bill Murray might have been the main holdout, but there were a lot of scripts that were written or pitched to them that they're like, no, this isn't it. Like, this isn't what it needs to be.
Really?
Yeah, because Harold Ramis, like, up until Harold Ramis died, there were rumors of a Ghostbusters 3.
Wow.
Like, they were able to get them all on board for the video game.
That's right, yeah.
But, like, movie-wise, they couldn't all agree on a script because they weren't happy with the way it was going. So I think there's something to be said that they all signed on for this one.
That's true.
And I think maybe the reason they didn't do a 3 is maybe they weren't happy with this one. And they didn't want to go down that route again. Like, I think they're all happy that they made it. But I think there might have been parts of it that they weren't happy with.
Do you know if Afterlife or the 2016 one got their sign off at all? I know they cameo in the 2016 one.
Yes, they all cameo in the 2016 one. I would say that it's safe to say that 3 out of the 4 of them signed off on Afterlife. One of them probably because he passed away, like not being able to. But I would say it's safe to like. I don't know if you guys saw this. The 3 living Ghostbusters were all on the Tonight Show and Seth Meyers last night.
I didn't know that. No.
Promoting Afterlife.
I had no idea that they were.
Yeah.
Is it weird that they did them instead of the cast of the new Ghostbusters movie? Like, wouldn't you rather Paul Rudd?
I mean, he's the sexiest man alive now. I think he's waiting for those business cards to get in before he goes out.
He has
and
been since he was. Paul Rudd has been the sexiest man alive since his crap bag days.
Is he actually the sexiest man alive?
Yeah, he was the sexiest
was
man alive.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And there that goes.
It's all right. This will be where it is now.
Every time I move, it falls
It's
over.
all right. This will be fine.
Sorry.
It's all right. Yeah. What? So, Devin, what was your favorite joke in this one?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, my favorite joke was, I think, everybody's favorite joke. And it's when they launched or started up their proton packs in the courtroom, and they did the do re.
Wait, no. Let's do it.
Do
Ray.
Egon.
I love it. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It was such a good joke, and I'm sorry that I stole all of your everything. If
No,
that was all
all
of your
right.
favorite jokes.
No. Actually, mine is all of the one-liners in this, all of them, just because it's great. I love it, especially when Janusz, who is my favorite character in this entire thing.
I'm glad you brought him.
Can we bring him
He
up?
is my favorite character in this entire thing, and I love the way they introduce him because he's going through and they show that he's running this like art restoration project that they're doing, and he walks behind one of them and goes, "Everything you're doing is bad. I just want you to know this." And I laugh every single time he says that because that just cements his like authority that he has no problem telling someone that they're doing a bad job, but then he goes to Sigourney Weaver and he can't talk.
Right. He's intimidated. So hold on. Okay, you probably know this better than I do. What accent was he going for in this?
I don't know and I don't care.
Okay.
European. That's it.
Alan?
I think it's a mix of accents.
Okay, so
I don't think you're supposed to know.
he wasn't like supposed to be like, I'm Austrian now, because like
No.
there were times where I'm like, is it Austrian? Like, and it was almost distracting for a while. And I'm like, it's a silly accent. I'm gonna stop. Like,
Yes.
analyzing this.
Yeah, see, that was my thing.
Yeah.
Like, at a very young age, my dad had me watching SNL reruns from like the 70s.
Good. Okay.
Okay, so, and also from the 80s. So, like, so like you've got the skit, Two Wild and Crazy Guys.
Oh yeah, it's like vaguely European.
Yeah, so it was like vaguely European. So I grew up with the understanding that part of a comic line or joke is just the nondescript European accent. So if something's not blatantly British or French or German, I just write it off as being Two Wild and Crazy Guys, and I just go from
It's
there.
like comedically European.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that because it seems like what he was going for. I did like the line that they gave him though, like, "Oh, you can't get your green card that way," or something like that, or like that won't get you a green card. Like, currently going, being with someone going through the process, that line hit real hard for me.
Yeah, no, that's
More. It's not picking you up.
It's not picking me up at all.
Yeah,
Is this
you're
better?
on the wrong side.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We got it.
Yeah.
We know it. Yeah, I mean, just having going through the green card process, like, I think that's funny. Like, I think
Yeah.
it's a fun line.
Yeah, no. There's a lot about his character that I like, just because it drives everything that's going on, and he's such a silly, sad character. Like when he's talking to Vigo, and he's talking about the child. He's like, the child. If I could, you'd be that, but could I have the woman? or just woman? Could I have woman?
Oh, and
he doesn't
like-
even say the. He
He
doesn't.
describes her, he's like, she's a good woman and strong. I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about?
He's so. The thing is, and I love how they do that because they go with the fact that he's so, European, or the accent's so strong and he's not speaking English right. They almost went to the whole point of like he's having a hard time speaking English because he's trying to translate what he wants to say into English in his head. And that, I mean, because I've known people like that.
Yeah.
So whenever I see a character like that, any type of like flaw in delivery that might be going on, any type of weirdness when it comes to like chemistry, I always write off as, oh, he's a step behind because the character is translating English into their language, and that's why there's that like weird disconnect. And then to me, with the way his character is, it makes it even funnier.
Yeah. Was Zool a better bad guy?
Gozer?
Gozer was it Gozer? Yeah, was he a better bad guy? I just thought about it now that we're bringing him up and how he's interacting with Vigo and like the like threat of Vigo. Was he more intimidating?
No, Vigo, you guys, because I was here as a studio audience when you guys were talking about Superman.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And you guys were talking about, you got your street level Marvel heroes and then you have your worldwide heroes.
Yeah.
Gozer is like Doctor Doom, the purple guy with the Ripley chin. What's his name? I forget.
Thanos?
Sorry. I forgot his name for a second.
It was a good description. We got it.
Like, that's who Gozer was.
Yeah.
Okay? Vigo is like
Street level bad guy.
In all honesty, it was just the Ghostbusters weren't around doing their thing, so Vigo was able to get a foot up.
Got it. But
So to me, Vigo is like a street punk like villain.
Got it. He's not supposed to be like the same caliber.
Yeah, it was just he was able to get in while the guards were sleeping.
Got it. Did you have the same thought, Alan? Like, was it?
Yeah, I would say I could see Vigo being like a henchman for Gozer. Like, I don't see it the other way around.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because, I mean, one had to be, Gozer had to be woken up by, like weird metal combinations on top of a skyscraper and could conjure anything that any of them thought of to like destroy the world and bring about like hell on earth.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about a god, pretty much. Vigo, he's trapped in a painting. Yeah. For all we know, somebody got his painting out of an attic and switched the whole aging process from that story. But what did you guys think of Egon's past that they touched on real briefly in this? Real briefly.
How do you mean?
Okay, so you know how occasionally they'll put in one-liners about a character and they'll, about like somebody's past?
Yeah.
I am so upset that Egon only had half a slinky to play with as a kid.
Does half the slinky even matter?
He straightened it, so, what good of it is it? See, this is why I like Ghostbusters 2.
So, Devin,
Yes.
which is your favorite Ghostbuster in this version?
In this movie?
Yeah, in this movie, which one stands out to you the most?
It's Venkman. It's
Venkman?
Yeah. And if for nothing else, for his like photo shoot, like of the Vigo picture, he's like, I've worked with better, but not many. Oh, and the delivery's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, his the first half where he's just kind of like aggressively flirting with Sigourney Weaver is
hard.
weird.
Yeah, that was hard to watch.
It's really hard to like. But in the second half, he kind of you can see that she's kind of going along with it, like willingly, like not like she was forced to in those first few scenes.
Yeah.
So he becomes a little bit easier to watch, but at the beginning it's really rough.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It is, but my favorite line from this movie, and it's because of how it's delivered, happened during those scenes.
Which one?
Named after a hot dog, you poor man.
Oh, Oscar, yeah.
With Oscar and him. But no, you're right, because he comes in like a bull.
He's strong.
And he, and you can tell she's just laying there going, oh my God, him again. Like, you can just tell, like, that's her reaction.
Turn your mic. So,
so
the wire is pointing towards me.
Physically turn your mic.
There you go.
There we go. Got it.
Yeah.
I keep trying to like move it away from Ryan. Like
I think I figured out how to get rid of the echo.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Yeah, but no, he does. I mean, and I guess I like didn't realize as much, but he comes on real strong in the beginning, and it is a little bit awkward.
It is.
But I like what he turns into.
Mm-hmm.
Was it you guys' favorite too, or?
I like Egon.
You like Egon?
Egon is my favorite, I think.
Yeah.
Just because like he's so subtle. Like if Dan Aykroyd's doing a 10 and if Bill Murray's a 10 and Dan Aykroyd's like a 7, like in intensity level, Harold Ramis is like a 3.
Yeah.
But it's a strong 3.
Yeah.
Like he's so subtle with everything he does. Like when Sigourney Weaver first comes to him about like what happened with the carriage and he's running the experiments, like he just, like she turns away and he just runs the scanner on
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely love that.
and just like the Egon line,
Yeah.
like, that's one of my favorites. The sneakers bit that we talked about earlier. Like I really like Egon in this. So
And
Who's yours?
Winston.
Winston's good
Winston
too.
is really good. Yeah.
And my favorite thing that he does in this is when they're in the abandoned tunnel.
Yeah.
And like he's talking about the rats and he's freaking out, and then they do the whole like echoing thing, and he yells, and then all of a sudden you get Winston, and he starts freaking out. And then of course he gets hit by the train.
Yeah.
And like
I love that.
It's a good scene.
So real quick, I want to talk about the tunnel.
Yeah.
The subway tunnel. So the pneumatic system I looked into.
Yeah.
Because I was confused, like what is the pneumatic tube
Yeah.
system
Yeah.
underneath New York? It was a thing
Yeah.
in like the late 1800s. There was like one system that went back and forth from 2 buildings that wasn't really used much. But the same system, going back to our conversation earlier, it's the same kind of system that the Ninja Turtles find.
Yeah.
In,
really?
Ninja Turtles 2,
Yeah.
which you would know if you'd
Yeah,
seen
I don't
Yeah.
know, but I mean, is that where
Yeah.
they live in Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like at one point, they're like in the beginning of the second one, they're living with April, and then she's like, "You guys need to find a new place. I can't keep having all this pizza at my place."
Yeah.
So they find a place in the sewers, and it's the same kind of system.
Oh,
Like-
funny.
Like something about abandoned subway tunnels just fascinates me. And I think it's because of this
Yeah.
and Ninja Turtles. Like,
Yeah.
there is an abandoned station underneath City Hall that there is like if you stay on a train, it goes past it.
Whoa.
But it's really hard to see.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And there's a horror movie called Mimic, and they kind of do the same thing in that one. But the thing is, I know about that whole system of using like air to like push the car back and forth, and that's why it's a circle, and that's why like the cars like were literally like there was like that much room between the car and the wall because it was air shoving the car back and forth. I know about that because the Subway restaurant in my hometown, the wallpaper had the blueprint to that past like
I think all subways have that.
that
might.
that like diagram of that old emamic whatever it's
Pneumatic.
yeah, that type of subway, like the blueprint of how that works, like they overlap the images and then they use that as the wallpaper at the Subway
Wow.
restaurant when I was a kid. And I was looking at it like, what is this? And my dad was trying to explain it to me. So then we went home, went on to Ask Jeeves because Google wasn't around yet. Google wasn't.
On my dial-up internet, Mom interrupted us while we were on. Or she tried to use the phone.
Yeah, she
It
tried
was
to call
AOL.
it
Yeah.
her mom.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
It was on
What a
AOL.
sentence.
Okay, we should probably wrap this up here.
Oh, yeah.
soon,
Okay.
because we're almost at to the hour mark.
Wow.
Okay.
So, anything else since this was your pick? Anything else
Yeah.
you wanted to ask us?
I think we pretty much covered anything. We talked about the issues with it,
Yeah.
which I think we covered to death. Favorite Ghostbuster, which is an awesome conversation. Other characters we already covered.
I got one.
Yeah.
Favorite appearance of a ghost? Like, was there any ghosts that appear in this that you like?
Ooh, you go. No, you have a much stronger response.
I'm sorry, but I love Slimer. Slimer is because the thing is, I love the cartoon. And another reason why I think I'm probably fine with the second Ghostbusters movie is that the cartoon starts with the end of the first movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The real Ghostbusters?
The real Ghostbusters.
Oh, that's
the
cool.
first episode, or like the second episode, like after the pilot, they talk about Gozer, and they talk about what they did right after, and all this other stuff, and they explain why Slimer is like their pet, pretty much.
That's cool.
And they go through that story, and I love Slimer from the cartoon.
Slimer has one of my favorite bits in this movie, and it's where Rick Moranis is like all dressed up as a Ghostbuster. He goes to get on the bus, and Slimer's driving, and Slimer's like, "Come on!" And he's like, "I didn't know you had your license, but okay."
The thing is, what I love about that is that Slimer's actually driving the bus. He's not being a maniac with the bus.
No, he's driving it.
He's driving the bus like an actual bus driver, doing the job correctly. That's what I love about that.
Devin, how about you?
I like the courtroom ghosts. They reminded me of the two Muppets.
Statler
and Waldorf, yeah.
That's what my wife said too. And you know how big of a Muppet fan she is.
Yeah.
So it's good that you being the novice of the Muppets that you are,
I saw
make
it.
the same connection that she did. For me, it's the Titanic and just Cheech Marin and be like, better late than never.
It's the dock supervisor. He says the Titanic just arrived. I love that. Okay, so that was our favorite ghost appearances. Was there any references in this that you liked, either a shot or a line about something historic about New York that they did in this?
I looked one up. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
When Venkman was putting Oscar down, he was like, "Oh, you have a house to yourself. I have plenty of these movies for you." And I was like, "Who is this?" It was an Italian actress.
Oh, cool.
I didn't know. Yeah, I thought it was funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
Okay. My favorite, and I always screw up his first name, but LaGuardia. When the mayor comes in, and he says, "Look, I spent an hour last night in my bedroom talking to
LaGuardia.
LaGuardia," and I always love that line because of the airport and everything. But it wasn't until I watched it this last time and I talked to my wife about it. Like, I thought it was named after him because he was some like great mayor of New York, or that he did something like heroic. He was just the mayor at the time when they built the airport. He was just the mayor at the
Okay.
So yeah.
It's good though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a joke there, but I'm not going to touch it.
Probably smart.
Okay, so the main reason we did this is because Ghostbusters Afterlife is coming out.
Yeah.
I've seen it, so I'm going to stay quiet for this.
Good.
What are your guys' hopes and feelings going into Ghostbusters Afterlife? What is there anything you're looking forward to seeing in this movie, or anything you don't want to see?
Man, as much as this sounds like weird, I just want to see kind of the old Ghostbusters in it.
Okay.
Not that I need it, not that I need them to be in it for the movie to be any good.
But you want to see them in full garb with the proton packs.
Not even that. I just want to acknowledge. I want them to acknowledge what's happening in the new one. Like, even if it's like a phone call or like they Skype them in or something. I don't know. I think that would be fun.
Okay, Brian.
From I had no thoughts about it at first, but now that I've seen the trailer a few times, this is what I'm hoping is going on. Whatever's at the bottom of that shaft that they show like stuff down there, what I'm really hoping it is that the cell that they made where they put all the ghosts breaks open or something. And then the kids have to go around and get everything fix fix it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I want to be surprised, but I'm hoping that's the narrative kind of that it is, because that's what it looks like. But if it's not, I'm not going to be upset.
That's kind of neat, actually.
I think you both will be pleasantly surprised.
That's a good, smart call, though, Ryan.
Anyone who is going to see Ghostbusters Afterlife, I will say this: there are 2 post-credit scenes. One halfway through, one at the very end.
Okay.
So make sure you stay through the credits. But yeah, no, I'm really excited to talk about this with you guys next week, because Ghostbusters Afterlife is my pick, because I've seen it and I've been dying to talk to you guys about it for a month and a half now. So tune in next week to hear our review of Ghostbusters Afterlife, where we will all be back in our own setups without the echo, which I think I got rid of towards the end.
Oh, good.
Because I forgot there's a setting that I can do that gets rid of the echo. It pretty much stops the microphones from picking up everyone else, which I completely forgot about.
That's fine.
But until then, Devin, I don't think you're going to be streaming this week.
No.
I might stream some Ghostbusters at some point maybe. If not, I'm probably going to stream some Halo Infinite because that's out now. I got to play a few rounds last night. Oh man.
Okay, cool.
It feels like old Halo, but it's new Halo, and it's
Good.
It's fun. And it's free. But until next time, make sure to follow us over on our Instagram. Devin and I will be doing our live reaction to the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer 2
An hour and a half.
in an hour and a half.
Oh boy.
Here's hoping that we might have an answer to who wins the Spider Bet tonight. Ryan might be with us. He might not. I don't know. We haven't talked yet. But make sure you can listen to our podcast on all major podcasting platforms. If you're watching on Twitch, go ahead and hit that follow button. We'd really appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe. We're on Facebook, Instagram,
Everything.
TikTok,
All of it.
yeah, all of it, all major podcasting platforms. For you have to watch this podcast. I am Alan,
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Devin.
and we will see you next week.
Cheesy wave.